In today's episode, I'm going to take a deep dive in how you can manifest self love and make sure that it's your greatest strength when life takes an unexpected turn. I am the Millennial Coach and I am your favorite accredited coach. So, welcome to the core. And I hope that today's episode is going to help you navigate life's, I would say, uncharted territories that most of us are experiencing in the world that we live in today. But before we go into the conversation, I need for you to I need you to send as many of your episodes to your people, share, and all those WhatsApp groups you're all in, those, Slack groups, those Telegram groups. I need you to post me everywhere. So let's go. Yanko, yalla.
Hey everyone, this is Hill Street Soul, and you're tuned in to the core with the Millennial Coach, discussing topics on real life. Check it out. Everywhere you go, don't forget the ghetto. Listen to the core. Don't forget the ghetto. With the Millennial Coach. Don't forget the ghetto. 'Cause it's the best show.
So life has a way of being unpredictable. How many of you have woken up one day and found yourself having a sudden change? You've lost someone you love. You've lost the income that you're used to. You actually may have lost your house or home. So think about the way life tends to throw curveballs at you, and the fact that we tend to lose control is one of the biggest things that I want to help you take control of. So imagine if the key to life is actually self-love, but not in a way that you've been taught. Those bubble baths and taking yourself out for a date, maybe that just isn't the self-love that I'm trying to promote here, and I'll tell you why. There's a time and place for all of that. There's no issue in how that is actually distributed in your life, and that is a form of self-care. But self-love is holding your own hand during the storm that you think is about to take you all the way out. So let me help you transform how you manage and handle your toughest moments in life. So you know that there are a multitude of people promoting and teaching and showing you how to self-love. Let me tell you what the first thing that self-love literally is on this journey of navigating uncharted territory. It's inner strength. So many people don't know the power they have until they have to fight for their lives. Now, as I say to the people that know me personally, I'm not a fan of fighting for your life because stuff goes wrong. I believe prevention is better than intervention. So if you're somebody who can see that there are actions that you're taking that potentially might lead you to your fall, think about the consequence before the action. That is a trick I teach a lot of different people. What is the consequence? What is it that could potentially happen so you can prevent doing the action and you can build that inner strength? Because your self-love is the anchor. That inner strength is the anchor to your success, especially when you're going through very challenging times. The key thing is to know two things of your inner strength. First of all, you're worthy. And the second thing is trust yourself. So many people don't trust that the things that they believe in is the right thing for them. What we do, and I will talk about the term outsourcing regularly, we outsource our strength. We are ringing other people to strengthen us. We're outsourcing our thought process. We're using ChatGPT to think for us, or a navigation system, or better still, somebody who may not necessarily have your best interests at heart. You asking them for their opinion on your life. Now, why inner strength is very important. Other people's opinions, whether it's electronic or physical or spiritual in terms of people, Not everyone is going to actually validate the choice that you're going to make, because you have to live with the consequence. That's why I really do believe that when you are empowered and you have self-love, that inner strength that you cultivate, you build that is what is going to save you every time. Your own navigation system is what you need, not someone else's. The second thing, and I talk about this all the time, is embrace vulnerability. When you're going through a tough time and someone asks, how are you? True self-love isn't, I'm okay. Someone asked me this morning, I want to give a shout out to, I call her Dr. Coach Anastasia Moody. She's over there in Atlanta. She messaged me this morning as I was heading to the studio. And she asked me how I am. I said, I'm not 100% great, simply because I have an autoimmune syndrome and I'm in my fatigue stage. So it lasts for about 3 months. So when I tell her how I'm feeling, I feel actually okay, but I feel tired. And I know what happens is when I exert a lot of energy, I start shutting down. So the vulnerability, embracing vulnerability is your second point of self-love. It's going to actually allow people to be there for you because they actually know how you're truly feeling. Now I'm going to caveat that with one small thing. People have to earn the right to your vulnerability. You don't just hand over your vulnerability to anyone who asks. So some people don't care, people don't care about you and they say, how are you? You are fine to that person. But to your inner circle, the people that can help you build that internal strength, you are not okay. And why I say this is because you can't lie yourself into self-love. You have to believe and know that inner knowing that when you are dealing with self-love, what does that feel like? Self-love, when you are vulnerable, it feels scary. The third thing, when you are going through tough times, is to have compassion for yourself on your journey. That requires talking to yourself compassionately. And I'll give you an example. Yes, I might be feeling tired, but I can get through today. And I am going to get through today. And I'm going to get through today by being good to myself, talking well to myself, being around people that energize me, not drain me. Eat foods that bring me joy, even if it is a bar of chocolate. But when you are compassionate to yourself, you don't judge, you don't dismiss, and you don't neglect. So when I say don't judge, don't be too hard on yourself. If you can't go to the gym today, it's okay. Don't dismiss how you're feeling. Oh, other people. I hear this a lot from people. Oh, somebody else has got it worse. Yes, and so have you. Today is your bad day. Don't dismiss how you feel. And when I say don't neglect, don't go and do your job at work or whatever it is at the capacity that you would normally do it at when you don't have the strength. That's when I say don't neglect your health. Because self-love and self-worth, that is part of your health journey. The other thing I want to talk about, number 4, is mindfulness and self-awareness. And I put them together because I think they're more or less one and the same. Self-awareness is being aware of how you show up in the state that you're in. When you're in times of challenge, you may be short-tempered, you may be angry, you actually may be in a bit of a daze, because sometimes we're still in shock when something's happened to us, and it could be, you found out your husband has a whole family in a different country. And we've all heard those stories, okay? Or you found out your business partner has completely wiped out your account. Self-awareness is knowing that today I'm not going to jail for murdering my business partner. That's self-awareness. Mindfulness is actually, I need to take myself out of this environment before I go postal, and I need to just be very calm. And when you go through these kind of, I would say, treacherous times, you've lost your job and you've got a mortgage, you've got children, you might be caring for your parents, you may have to take care of a sibling, and you may have pets. Listen, pets are not cheap, okay? So I'm gonna throw that in there. But all that's going on, and you have to stay mentally stable. In some cases, you need to collect your bags and go and sit in a field for at least a good few hours. Go to the beach, not in the rain, but sit on the beach, whether it's pebbles like Brighton or it's sand. Go somewhere where you can just be. One of the things we don't actually take time to understand is mindfulness is also about being mindful of your emptiness. You understand? Like, it's not mindfulness, let's stand and do a yoga pose. No, we're not doing downward dog when we're literally feeling our life is about to fall apart. Okay, I can't be doing downward dog right now because I will kick someone. But you have to be self-aware of how you're feeling. And why I say identify your emotions, that is actually going to help you navigate what you don't need to be around. Don't be around people that need your attention right now because you cannot respond in a rational sense. You need to be sometimes in your own energy. And sometimes, somebody said something to me, and I had written a story on LinkedIn about from broken to brave, of when I felt like I'd lost everything, right? And I retrained and I came into coaching and I got my master's in executive coaching. I did all of that. But at the time, I was like, I can't come this far to come this far. That's my self-awareness. I haven't come all this way, gone to the Middle East for 7 years, got my degree in journalism, got my MBA. I can't be doing all that and then I'm sitting at home and I'm depressed. No. But I know that time is me and God. It's not me and Susie and Frank going to rave and be dancing senselessly in the middle of a rave that you absolutely hate and you get no peace from it. I'm not someone who spends money or gets drunk or, takes drugs when I'm going through a tough time. Shall I tell you why? Once you've wasted all that money that you don't have, the problem is still there. So to me, that's counterproductive. I am the kind of person that I will take myself and go sit somewhere and have a nice meal. Because if I have to get to happy, getting to happy isn't being destructive. And also, this is how the next point, number 5, is how I build my confidence. When you are going through tough times, you have to take each day to create a small action. And that might be just having a shower. Because when you are low, everything in your world stops. Everything. There's nothing in your world that you feel has value when everything is crumbling around you. So when you hear Sounds of Blackness saying, keep your head to the sky, be optimistic. That tune has taken me through some tough times. Listen to things that are going to help you navigate what you need to do next. So if you can consistently shower every day and have healthy food, even if you eat once a day, do that for a week. What's the next thing the following week you're going to add to that? Every single day, one action. Even if it means you're looking for a job and you send one CV, you've done something today. If it means that you've got children and they can take themselves to and from school, but you know what? Today is the day you're going to meet them at the gate and you're going to actually go and sit in the park with them and have an ice cream. You've done an action. You've brought joy to somebody else. Building your confidence through action is a form of self-love, because what that's doing is giving you agility to move through the storm. Most people think, oh, I need to do the same thing that I've been doing. No. You will have success strategies that worked for you when things went wrong 10 years ago. 10 years later, how you respond and how your prefrontal cortex is activated is very different, because you have different responsibilities, a different outlook on life, and you've aged. People might think, oh, what are you talking about? How you see life at 20 is not how you see life at 40. How you see life at 30 is not how you see life at 50. So we need to start realizing tough times will happen in every stage of our life. And we have to be agile enough to respond according to where we are in that space. not where we were. So that confidence is about, okay, I'm at this point, now I have to deal with it in this way. The next thing is supportive boundaries, Self-love involves saying no as a full sentence. Okay? Now, if you've ever listened to my radio shows, I talk about Cousin Jackie all the time. And she said something to me once, and I always hold on to this. When you say yes to somebody else, you say no to yourself. And she ain't wrong. The reason I think saying no is quite important, it allows people to know what you're willing to do in the space that you're in. If you're in your winning season, most of the time, joy begets joy. So you are always going to be open and affirmative and accommodating when you're joyful. Imagine if your dad or your partner or your sibling just got promoted, and then you know this is the time to strike. Oh, can we go and see that concert that you promised me? This is the time when to strike, yeah? When people are joyful. But when people say no, what I've noticed is that they get upset because you're no longer accommodating their nonsense, which actually doesn't help you grow, it helps them grow. So in your time of troubles and storms, saying no is absolutely imperative. You have got to take all your eggs and you place it in the basket that is you. And the thing is, all those eggs that you place in you better start hatching them one by one by doing something of action each day, building that confidence. Number 7, turning painful opportunities into opportunities of growth. Now, I've been challenged by this myself. I want to fly kick some people up in their chest when they've done me dirty, and it's actually impacted my life. But remember, those of you just like me, you're too beautiful to go to jail. We will not be fly kicking anybody in their chest, even though it feels like you really want to. Yeah, I know how I feel when I'm ready to fight somebody mentally, and the actual action of me beating them up, flinging them on the floor, stamping them happens in my head, and then they show up and you're like, hi, yeah, how are you? Yeah, you know they've done you dirty, but you have to rise above you, not them, rise above the old version of you into the new version of you. And that one example of not letting your emotions overtake you is a form of growth. Because there's been times, I remember I worked with somebody who I thought was incredibly incompetent. And why I'm saying incredibly incompetent, I had to take over their portfolio of work and coach people, which, yeah, I get paid, but that wasn't the point. The person, as I say to my dad, overvalues themselves and thinks that they're a polyglot or polymath. The person is not a polymath. They don't know anything to an expertise that will wow not even you or me. And I wanted to fly kick her up in her piece, like I really wanted to fly kick her. But what was interesting, one of the directors who I was actually mentoring, she said to me, she's not a bad person. And that completely transformed everything about how I communicated with her. That was a reframing of the experience in my mind. She wasn't a bad person. She was a great talker, but very incompetent. And you know what I did? I accepted her for who she was. That helped me reframe how I want to turn this situation that we're in trouble about a project. I said, you know what? I'm going to work with her to support her rather than chastise her, because you know what? This is a learning for me that she isn't a bad person. She just doesn't understand that she ain't that great. But how do I make this an opportunity? When I lost my job in broadcast and I transitioned into coaching, which I'd always been a coach, mind you, everyone always came to me for advice. That's why I thought, what is it I'm really good at? And that's when I transitioned into coaching. When I did that joyfully. Remember when I'm at the leadership table in broadcast with all the, sitting at the senior table, working with them, making decisions, then I'm back at the bottom. When you have to start, when you're at the top of this food chain and you want something new, doesn't matter how much money you were earning, 6, 7 figures, you are going back to the bottom when you're starting something new. And you have to work your way back up. That's where credibility that builds and through your confidence. The number 8 I want to leave you with is, and I do this all the time now, literally, the fact that I was even coming to the studio, there was so much traffic, I almost cancelled, right? So just thank God for today's show because I almost cancelled. Celebrate your small wins. How do I celebrate my small wins? Is that I will treat myself after. I love a cheeky Nando's. So I probably should do some promotion for Nando's because I love a cheeky Nando's. 5 wings, peri fries. No, let's not have peri fries because too much salt. Normal fries with peri mayonnaise and some peas on the side. Always have to have my greens. So just saying, like, that's a small win for me. That's how I celebrate. So in conclusion, right, we know life is going to throw a curveball at you. You might find your partner cheating on you, the person you're about to marry, or even find out that the child that is pregnant is the person that is pregnant with your child that's not your child. As you know why I'm saying this, it's happened to people I know. And they have been nice and faithful and been with that person. 15, 20 years later, find out the child's not theirs. And the woman's like, yeah, I didn't know how to tell you. So when I see this, is what I'm saying, curveballs, they could be lifelong or they could be short term. But you have to choose how you're going to respond to it. So I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments, what problems have you had? And I am happy to respond to help you navigate. And if you're having a problem now, let's work through it. So I want to thank you very much for spending time with me. You didn't have to, but I know you wanted to. I know I could feel it in your soul. You needed to be here. So I need you to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me, the Millennial Coach, for more tips on confidence, life, but most importantly, I teach all things leadership. So if you're leading in your workplace or you're leading in your personal life, I'm the coach for you. I am the Millennial Coach. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Hey everyone, this is Hill Street Soul. And you're tuned in to the core with the Millennial Coach, discussing topics on real life. Check it out. Everywhere you go, don't forget the ghetto. Listen to the core. Don't forget the ghetto. With the Millennial Coach. Don't forget the ghetto. 'Cause it's the best show.